Romeus, labors numberless have I had because of you, now and when I was young and able-bodied. First, when Hera drove me mad, you went off leaving behind your nurses in the mountains. Then, when in the battle with the earthborn giants, I took my stand, protecting your right flank with my shield, and striking Enceladus with my spear in the center of his targe, killed him. Come, let me see. Did I dream all of this? No, by Zeus, for I also displayed the spoils to Dionysus. But now I am facing a labor greater than those. For when Hera raised Tuscan pirates against you to have you sold as a slave to a far country, I learned of it and took ship with my sons to find you. I myself steered the oared ship, while my sons, sitting at the oars, made the gray sea whiten with their rowing to find you. But just as we were rounding Cape Malea, an east wind blew down on the ship and cast us to land near this crag of Etna, where Poseidon's one-eyed sons, the Cyclops, dwell in remote caves. One of these has caught us and keeps us as slaves. Our master is called Polyphemus. And so, instead of our Bacchic revels, we now herd the flocks of this godless Cyclops. And so my sons, being young, are out shepherding young sheep on distant slopes, while my duties are to remain behind, filling the watering troughs and sweeping this house, assisting the godless Cyclops at his unholy meals. And so, duty is duty. I must sweep this house, that I may receive my absent master, the Cyclops, and his sheep in a clean cave. But what's this? I now see my sons driving the flocks this way. Could it be that you have the same lively rhythm to your dance as when you first went reveling at Bacchus' side to the house of Althea, swaggering into the music of the lyre?
Son of old sire and noble dame, on what road, tell me, are you heading for the crag? Is not this the way the gentle breezes and green grass?
The water of eddying rivers stands in the drinking trough near the cave where you're leaving no more shelter.
Shoot, this way. You don't want me to look here.
You there, I shall soon throw a stone at you. On with you, Lord one, guardian of the sheep fold, that belongs to the herdsman. The Cyclops who treads the wild.
Unloose your swollen udders. Take to your teeth the young lambs you left beside in the cave. The little baby ones who have slept all day are missing you.
When will you leave the grass your consequence crags behind and into your dust head? No Dionysus is here. No dances, no long-bearing plastic portion. No ecstatic noise of the drums by the gushing springs of water. No fresh drops of blood.
Nor can I join the nymphs of Dionysus and sing the song Iacchus, Iacchus, to Aphrodite, whom I swiftly pursued in the company of my companions.
Oh me, Lord Dionysus, where are you going without your companions shaking your golden hair? I, your attendant, serve as one-eyed Cyclops, the slave in exile, dressed in this wretched goat skin, and deprived of your friendship.
Silence, my sons. Drive the flocks toward the rocky cave. Who has been said? Well, what is your concern, Father? I see a Greek ship on the beach, with men who ply the oar coming toward the cave, with someone who must be their commander. On their heads they carry empty vessels, since it is food that they need, and pails for water. Oh, unlucky strangers. They know not what our master Polyphemus is like, nor that this ground is no friend to guests, and that they have arrived with wretched bad luck at the man-eating jaws of the Cyclops.
Strangers! Does anyone know where we might find a stream of water to slake our thirst? Whether anyone among you is willing to sell provisions to needy sailors? Why, what is this? We must have marched into Dionysus' town, where there's a throng of satyrs by the cave. My greetings to the oldest.
Greetings, stranger. But tell me your name and country.
I am Odysseus of Ithaca, Lord of Succoring.
I know the man, a clever chatterer. Sisyphus' son?
The very same, but spare me these aspersions.
From what land have you sailed here to Sicily?
From Ilium, and the fighting at Troy.
What? Did you not know your way home?
We were blown off course. by windstorms against our will.
Dear, the fate you suffer is the same as mine.
Do you also come here against your will?
Yes, chasing the pirates who carried off Dionysus.
Well, what is this land and who are its inhabitants?
This is Mount Etna, highest in Sicily.
Well, where are the walls and city battlements?
There are none, for no men dwell in these headlands, stranger.
Well, then who are its inhabitants? Wild beasts?
Cyclops, who dwell in caves, not houses.
Well, who is their ruler? Or do the people govern?
They are solitaries, no one is anyone's subject.
And do they sow Demeter's grain, or how do they live?
On meat and cheese and the flesh of sheep.
Do they possess Dionysus' drink, that which flows from the vine?
Not at all. Hence, the land they dwell in knows no dancing.
Well, are they God-fearing and hospitable towards strangers?
Most delicious, they maintain, is the flesh of strangers.
What do they enjoy, feasting on men?
Everyone who has come here has been slaughtered.
Where's the Cyclops now? In his house?
No, he is off hunting wild beasts on Mount Etna, his dog.
Well, do you know what you must do so that you must escape from this slavery?
No, Odysseus, but I will do everything I can for you.
Sell us some bread, the thing which we lack.
As I told you, we have nothing but meat.
That too is a fine way to put an end to hunger.
There is also curdled cheese and cow's milk.
I'll bring them out, for daylight befits merchandise.
But you tell me how much you will give in exchange.
It is not gold we bring, but rather Dionysus' drink.
What good news you bring! The very thing we have lacked for so long!
Yes, Marin, the god's own son gave me this wine.
The lad I once raised in these very arms.
Dionysus' son, to make my meaning plainer.
Is it on board ship, or do you have it with you?
This is the skin with which I bring it.
That would barely be a mouthful for me.
Not even you could drink this wineskin dry.
What? Does the skin produce new wine of itself?
Twice as much as has flowed from the skin.
What a lovely spring you speak of. What pleasure it brings me.
Would you like me to give you a taste of it neat first?
Fair enough, a taste invites a purchase.
See, along with this wineskin, I brought the cup.
Splash some in so that I may remember what it's like to drink.
Done.
My, what a fine bouquet it has.
What, have you caught it?
No, by Zeus, I smell it.
Well, then taste it, so that your praise may not be merely of words.
Oh, Bacchus invites me to the dance. Tra-la-la.
Doesn't it gurgle nicely down your throat?
Yes, and all the way to the ends of my toes.
Well then, bring out the cheese and lamb.
I will do just that and pay little heed to my master. I would like to drink down a single cup of this wine, giving in exchange all the Cyclops flocks for it. Then, to leap from the Leucadian cliff into the brine, good and drunk with my brows utterly relaxed. The man who does not enjoy drinking is mad, for in drink one can raise this to a stand and catch a handful of breast and look forward to stroking her boskage. And there's dancing and forgetfulness of cares. Shall I not kiss such a drink and tell the bonehead Cyclops and the eye in the middle of his head too to go hang?
Listen, Odysseus, we'd like a little chat with you.
Why, of course. Since you are my friends and I am yours.
Did you capture Troy and take Helen prisoner?
Yes. We sacked the whole house of the sons of Priam as well.
And once you caught the girl, didn't you all then take turns banging her, since you take pleasure in having more than one queen? The traitor! She saw the party-colored breeches on the man's legs and the gold chain around his neck and went all flutter after them, leaving behind that fine little man Menelaus. Oh, would that the female sex were nowhere to be found, but in my lap.
Here, my lord Odysseus, are your flies. A waiting lamb and a goodly number of cheeses made from curdled milk. Take them, go away quickly from the cave, giving in exchange a drink of the Bacchic wine. Oh no, here comes the Cyclops. What are we to do?
Where are we to hide? Where are we to flee to?
Inside this cave, and we should avoid being seen.
A dangerous suggestion not going into the net?
No danger, for there are many hiding places in the cave.
No, I will not do it. For Troy would groan loudly if I were to flee now at the sight of one man, when countless times I stood my ground, shield in hand against a throng of Trojans without number. Rather, if I must die, I will do so nobly, or yet live on and still retain my old reputation.
Give way! Make way! What is going on here? What means this slackness? Why this Bacchic holiday? Here is no Dionysus, no bronze castanets, no rattle of drums. How fare my newborn lambs in the cave? Are they at the teat and running to their mother's sides? The milk for cheeses, has it been put in rust buckets? What say you? This club will soon make someone cry. Look up, not down.
There, my head is turned up towards Zeus himself and the stars, and I see Orion.
Is my dinner well prepared?
It is. Just be sure your gullet is ready.
Are the mixing bowls filled with milk as well?
So much that you could drink an entire storage jar if you like.
Cow's milk or sheep's or a mixture of both?
Whatever you like, just don't swallow me down.
Ha! I wouldn't think of it. You'd be the death of me with your dead steps, leaping around inside my belly. Hey, what's this crowd I see near my cave? Have some pirates or robbers landed here? I do see lambs here from my cave, their bodies bound with twisted willow withes, and my cheese buckets all in disarray. And an old man with his head swollen with blows.
Oh, wretched me, what a fever I have for being beaten up.
By whom? Who has been pummeling your head, old man?
These men, because I would not let them take your property.
Did they not know that I am a god and descended from gods?
I told them so, but they went on to plunder your possessions. And what's more, they started in on the cheese, though I tried to stop them. They began to carry off your sheep. And then they said that they would collar you like a dangerous dog, and right under your very eye violently rip out your guts, and flay your back nicely with a whip. Then bind you hand and foot, and throw you onto the rowing benches of their ship, to have you sold as a slave to somebody who needs to move heavy rocks, or throw you into a mill.
Is that so? You there, go on the double and sharpen my carving knives, and start a big bundle of wood blazing on the hearth. They shall be slaughtered at once, and fill my belly, giving the server a feast hot from the coals, and the rest tender and boiled from the cauldron. I have had enough of mountain fare. I have had far too many lions and deer, and have gone far too long without a meal of man's flesh.
After ordinary fare, good master, something new is all the pleasanter.
Hear this, Cyclops. Do not have the hardness to kill your friends who come from their ship to your house looking to buy food. It was this man, after having gotten a taste of the wine, who sold and tendered us these sheep in exchange for a cup. There was no violence in this. Rather now, since he has been caught selling your goods behind your back, every word he says is a lie.
Me? Damnation! damnation take you!
Yes, if I'm lying.
By your father Poseidon, Cyclops, by the great Triton and Nereus, by Calypso and Nereus' daughters. I swear, oh my handsome, oh dear Cyclops, that I was not trying to sell your possessions to the strangers. And if I'm lying, may utter damnation take these sons of mine, the apple of my eye.
On your head, rather. I saw you selling the goods to these men. If I'm lying, damnation take my father. But do no harm to the strangers.
You lie. I, for my part, put more trust in this man and believe he is more honest than Rhadamanthus. But I want to ask you a question, strangers. Where have you sailed from? What is your country? What city was it that brought you up?
We're men of Ithaca by birth, and it is from Ilium and the fighting at Troy from which we sail.
Are you the ones that went to punish Ilium on the Scamander for the theft of the worthless Helen?
Yes. We are the ones that had to endure that terrible toil.
Disgraceful expedition! Sailing to Phrygia for the sake of one woman!
It was the doing of a god. Blame you no mortal for it. But O noble son of the sea god, we at once entreat you and give you our frank censure. Again, do not have the hardness to kill your friends who come to your house. For it was we who kept your father safe in possession of his temple seats in every corner of Greece. Safe are the harbors of sacred Tenarium, and safe is the rock of Sunium, rich in silver, sacred to the goddess Athena. The recesses of Cape Malea and Eurystheus' refuges remain inviolate. He did not suffer the great humiliation of surrendering Greek possessions to the Trojans. And you had a hand in these deeds as well, dwelling as you do in the far reaches of the Hellas, under Etna, the rock which drips with fire. But if you are deaf to these considerations, there is a law among mortals that one must receive shipwrecked suppliants. Give them the gifts hospitality requires. Provide them with clothing. It is this treatment which we ought to receive from you, rather than to have our limbs pierced with spits for roasting beef. Fill your maw and belly. Listen to me, Cyclops. Give up this gluttony. Choose to be godly instead of impious. For many have found that base gain brings punishment in its train.
I want to give you some advice. Don't touch a single bit of that man's flesh. And if you chew on his tongue, you will become clever and glib, Cyclops.
Little man, the wise regard wealth as the god to worship. All else is just praying in fine-sounding sentiments. As for the headlands where my father's temples are built, I pay them no heed. Why did you bother to put them in your speech? As for Zeus's thunderbolt, well, I do not shudder at that stranger. Nor do I know any respect in which he is my superior as a god. If I have ever thought about him before, I am not concerned with him for the future. How is it that I am unconcerned, you may hear? When Zeus sent his rays from above, taking my watertight shelter in this cave, and dining on roasted cat for some wild animal, I put on a feast for my upturned belly. Then, drinking dry a whole storage vat of milk, I drum on it, making a din to rival Zeus's thunder. And when the north winds out of Thrace pour snow on us, I wrap my body in the skins of beasts and pile up a great blazing fire and pay no heed to the snow. The earth mindlessly brings forth grass here and there to feed my flocks. These I sacrifice to no one but myself, never to the gods, but to my belly, the greatest of divinities. To guzzle and eat day by day, and to give oneself no pain. This is Zeus in the eyes of men of sense. As for those who have passed laws and complicated men's lives, they can go hang. I, for my part, shall not forgo giving pleasure to my heart by eating you. Guest presents you shall have. You shall not fault me there. Guest presents of this kind. Fire to warm you, salt inherited from my father, and a bronze pot, which when it has been brought to a boil, will clothe your ill-clad bodies nicely. Now go inside, in order that you may stand about the altar of the God that dwells within, and give me sumptuous entertainment.
Oh, alas, I have escaped hardships at Troy and on the sea, only to be put in now in the fierce and harmless heart of this man. O Pallas Athena, Zeus's divine daughter, hear this, see this, for I have been put into the very uttermost of danger. And you, Zeus, protector of guests, who dwell in the far realm of the stars, look on these things. For if you do not, then men mistakenly worship you as Zeus, when you are in fact a worthless god.
Open the gate, O Cyclops.
Over your yawning throat. The limbs of your guests, boiled, roasted, or hot from the coals, are ready for you to gnaw, rend, and devour, as you recline dressed in a soft fleeced goatskin. Do not, I say, give me any share of them. You yourself alone freight your vessels hold. Away with this house, away with the godless sacrifice of victims which Etna Cyclops celebrates, taking his pleasure in the flesh of his guests. Hard-hearted one, pitiless is a man who sacrifices strangers who have taken refuge in his heart, and feasts on them boiled and with teeth defiled, tears and devours their flesh, warm from the coals.
Oh, Zeus, what am I to say when I have seen things inside that cave, terrible things?
What is it?
Things that one only sees in stories, never in the deeds of mortals.
Could it really be that the godless Cyclops has devoured your dear companions?
Yes, spotted and weighed the two with the fattest flesh in his hands.
Poor man, how could you endure such a fate?
When we entered into that rocky hall, he first made a fire blaze up, heaping onto the broad hearth logs from a mighty oak, enough to fill 3 wagons worth. Then set a bronze kettle on the fire to boil. Next to the blaze, he laid down a bed of fir branches upon the ground. Then, after milking the heifers, filled up a large mixing bowl, about 90 gallons worth, with white milk. Then, set next to it a cup of ivy wood, 4.5 feet rim to rim and a good 6 feet to the bottom. And then, buckthorn spits, their ends sharpened, put in the fire, the rest scraped with a scythe. And when that vile and murderous cook had everything ready, he snatched up 2 of my companions, cut the throat of the first over the cauldron and drained him of blood with a sweep of his arm. Second, he picked up the tendon in his foot and against the sharp edge of a rock, dashed out his brains. Me, standing there next to him, in my wretchedness, attended him at his work, while my companions, cowered like birds in the dark recesses of the cave, their faces pale and bloodless. But then, when sated with the meal he had made of my companions, he fell on his back and belched a foul stench from his maw. I was struck with a heaven-sent thought. I poured him a cup of that marron wine and offered it to him to drink, with these words, "O noble son of the sea god, come and see what kind of divine drink Greece has to offer from its vines. The gleaming cup of Dionysus." He took it from me, and with his belly full to bursting, downed it in one long draught. He said, "Good friend, you've given me a fine drink on top of a fine meal." Seeing that it had given him pleasure, I offered him another. And in due time he began to sing. And I plied him with one cup after the next, heating his heart with drink. And now, hard by his wretched side, my weeping crew sits inside the cavern while his tuneless songs echo outside. But I have crept out of the cavern with the intention of saving you and I. Your father assented to this in the cave, but since he is old and weak and has had too much to drink, he sticks fast to the cup like a bird caught in birdlime, flapping his wings in vain. But since you are young, you may help me and return to your friend Dionysus, such a different sort than the Cyclops.
Dearest of friends, if only we might see that day and escape the impious Cyclops. For a long time now, my poor siphon here has been widowed, with no place to lay its head.
And listen now to the punishment I have contrived for the knavish beast.
Say on, I would not enjoy hearing the sound of the Asian lyre more than the news of the Cyclops' death.
The Cyclops, since he has been enjoying his drink, wants to go to his brother Cyclops' houses for a revel.
I take your drift. You are eager to catch him alone in the woods and cut his throat or push him off a cliff?
No, nothing like that. I desire something more cunning.
What is it then? We have long heard about your cleverness.
First, I want to convince the Cyclops to not go on this revel by telling him rather he should keep the drink for himself and live a life of pleasure. And then, when he falls asleep, overcome by Dionysus, there is an olive stake in his hall, whose tip, when I have sharpened with this sword of mine, shall place into the fire. And when I see it burnt, I shall lift it hot and poke it into the face of the Cyclops. And as a ship's joiner whirls his auger with a pair of tongs, so I shall drill the firebrand into the eyeball of the Cyclops and burn out his orb of vision.
Hurrah! I'm even frantic with joy by these inventions.
Then I will take you and my friends and your father upon our black ship, and with plight oars sail off across the sea.
Is there any way that I too could put my hand, as men do with a libation to the gods, to the brand that will blind the Cyclops?
You must, for the brand is big and heavy to hold.
I could lift the weight of 100 wagons if we are going to smoke out the cursed Cyclops' eye like a wasp's nest.
Then, you've heard my plan. Hold your tongues, until the master builder tells you what to do. For I have crept out of the cave, and I must save my companions as well. Except I have come out of the cave and could save myself alone. But it is not right. For I will not leave behind my companions, with whom which I have come here with.
Who shall be stationed first? Who next first to hold fast the grip of the firebrand, thrust it beneath the Cyclops' brow, and grind and powder his bright eye? Hush, hush. For now, the Cyclops, drunk and making graceless melody, comes forth from the rocky cave, a singer who is inept and who shall pay dearly. Come, let us, with our reveling songs, impart some culture to this laugh. In any case, he shall be blind.
Happy the man who shouts the back and cry, the well-beloved juice of the vine, putting the wind in his sails.
His arm is around his trusty friend. He has waiting for him the fresh young body of the voluptuous mistress upon her bed. And with locks gleaming with myrrh, he says,
Who will open the door for me?
Oh la la! I'm loaded up with wine. My heart skips with the cheer of the feast. Like a ship, I'm loaded right up to the top deck of my belly. This cheerful cargo brings me up to the revel in the springtime to the houses of my brother Cyclops. Come now, my friend, come now. Give me the wineskin.
With a lovely glance, he steps forth in beauty from the halls, crying, "Someone loves me."
Don't wait for the hour of lamplighting, and expect their gifts over the dewy cave.
but it is crowns of more than one hue that shall soon hold converse with your brow.
Hear me, Cyclops, since I am acquainted with this Dionysus whom I gave you to drink.
Who is Dionysus? Is he worshipped as a god?
Yes, the very best source of joy in the lives of mortals.
At any rate, I belch him out with pleasure.
So is this god. No mortal will he harm.
But how can a god love to dwell in a wineskin?
Wherever you put him, there he is at ease.
The gods are not to clothe themselves in skins.
Why not if it brings pleasure? Do you mind the skin?
I hate the wineskin. But this drink I love.
Then drink up, Cyclops. Take your cheer.
Shall I not give my brother some to drink?
Keep it to yourself, and you will be more honored.
By giving it, I'm more helpful to my kin.
Reveling often ends in fists and quarreling.
Beside though I am, no man shall touch me.
Good friend. It's best when home to stay drunk at home.
Foolish the man who drinks and does not revel.
But wise is he who stays at home when drunk.
What shall it be, Silenus? Shall we say?
Yes, stay. What need of other banqueters?
What's more, the ground is soft with flowery boscage.
It's more. It's nice to drink when the sun is so hot. Please lie down, then recline upon the ground.
Done. Why are you putting the bowl behind me?
So no one passing by may knock it over.
No. You mean to steal some and drink it? Put it down between us. But you, stranger, tell me what name I must call you.
No man. And what am I to expect as a favor in return?
Of all your company, I shall eat you last.
Fine present you have given your guests, Cyclops.
You? What are you doing? Drinking on the sly?
No. The wine kissed me for my handsome looks.
You'll regret you love the wine which loved not you.
Oh, by Zeus, for it says it has fallen for my beauty.
Just pour. Give me the cup when you've finished.
How's the mixture? Let me have a look.
You'll be the death of me. Just hand it over.
Until I see you crowned. And have a little taste.
This wine pourer is a crook.
Yes, but the wine is sweet. But time to wipe your mouth. Here comes a drink.
I've wiped it off. My lips and beard are clean.
Lie gracefully on your elbow and drink it off, just as you see me drink, or see me not.
Hey, what are you up to?
Nicely done, match.
Stranger, take charge of the wine and be my wine pourer.
Fine, since my hand at least has some acquaintance with the vine.
Come, pour then.
I'm pouring, be quiet.
That's hard advice for a man who's down the lot.
There, see, take it, and drink it all. No heel traps, but the drinker and his wine must go down together.
Oh my, how clever is the grapevine's wood.
Now drink it all, and you will be rewarded with a fine sleep. But leave some, and Dionysus will give you a parching thirst.
Ah! How close I was to drowning in it. This is pleasure unalloyed. I think I see the heaven and the earth swimming around together. I see Zeus and the whole host of the immortal gods. The graces are trying to seduce me. Shall I not kiss them? No more! I shall go off to battle with greater glory with this Ganymede here than with all the graces. And somehow, I seem to take more pleasure in boys than women.
Am I Zeus's boy, Euripides Cyclops?
Yes, mine is Zeus! And I have abducted you from Dionysus' house.
Oh, my sons, I'm done for. A terrible fate is in store for me.
Do you turn your nose up at your lover, at one who's drunk?
My taste of the wine will soon prove all too bitter.
Dionysus' children, noble offspring, demands within and now. Now is the time to show your manhood.
Our hearts shall be like rock or adamant. But go into the house before my father suffers some awful disaster. From this quarter, all is ready for you.
Hephaestus, Lord of Etna, burn out the bright eye of this pest, and be quit of him for good, your neighbor. Sleep, child of blackest night, come with undiluted force against this man. Do not let Odysseus and his men die here after their great deeds in Troy. For if you were, then men would have to regard chance as a god, and the gods weaker than chance.
The tongs will eagerly grasp the neck of the guest here, but by fire he will soon lose his shining eye.
Already the firebrand, burnt to charcoal, and spin the ashes, huge offshoot of his tree.
But let the marrow wine come, let it act, let it extract the items of that Cyclops, he may prove the drug to its cost.
After that, I want to see the ivory garland in Dionysus, my heart's desire, and to leave behind the Cyclops' blooming garland. Shall I ever attain such a joy?
Silence, you savage, quiet. Man's reading, sleep. Let none of you blink or breathe or clear your throat, lest the Cyclops have its opportunity to have his eye have a contest with the fire.
We hold our peace, gulping down the air with our mouths.
We stand too far from the door to push the fire.
And we have just now become lame.
The same thing has happened to me. I suddenly sprained both my feet. Ow!
You got a sprain while standing?
Suddenly my eyes are full of dust and ash.
These eyes of mine are cowardly and worthless.
Just because I take pity on my back and spine and have no desire to get my eyes knocked out, is that cowardice? But I know an incantation of Orpheus so wonderful that the firebrand, all on its own, will march up to the Cyclops and set the one-eyed son of Earth on fire.
For a long time, I have known that your nature was like this, and now I know it better. I must make use of my own companions. But if you have no strength left in your arms, at least cheer us on so that we may find ourselves brave.
I shall do so, and let a mercenary run my risk. If encouragements can do it, let the Cyclops be burned.
Hurrah! 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 Bravely! Hurry! Burn out the eyebrows, you guest-eating monster! Burn! Incinerate the herdsmen of Etna! Whirl and pull! Whirl and pull! Lest in pain you do you some desperate harm!
Alas! My bright eye is all turned to cinder!
A lovely song. Sing it again for me, Cyclops.
Alas! Alack! How well treated! How undone! But you will never escape, you worthless wretches! I will make my stand in the entrance and fit my hands to it.
Why do you shout so, Cyclops?
No man destroyed me!
You do look ugly.
And miserable as well.
Did you fall in a drunken stupor into hot coals?
No man burned out my eye!
So, you are not blind.
You mock me, but this no man, where is he?
They are standing here quietly, under the overhang of the cliff.
To my left or my right?
To your right,
Where?
just under the cliff. Have you got them?
Ah! Yes, I've got pain on top of pain. I've hit my head and broken it.
And what's more, they've given you the slip.
What? I thought you said there was some around here.
No, I meant over here.
Where?
Turn around this way, to your left.
Oh, you are mocking me, deceiving me in my troubles.
I shall no more. He's right in front of you.
Ah! Name! Where in the world are you?
Over here, at some distance, where I can keep the person Odysseus safe from harm.
This is a new name you use.
Yes, the very one my father gave to me. And it seems as if you are destined to pay the penalty. For his deeds at Troy would be a sorry sight had I not avenged the murder of my companions.
Oh. An ancient prophecy is now being fulfilled. It had said that I would be blinded at your hands when you had set sail from Troy. But it also said that you would sail about on the sea for a long time as a punishment.
And you can go hell, say I, and that is just what I have made you do. Now, I will board our ship and set off across the Sicilian Sea.
Oh, no, you won't. I will break off a piece of this crag and hurl it, crushing you and your companions to bits. I'm going up to the hilltop, blind though I am through my tunnel.
As for us, we shall be shipping with Odysseus and ever after sail in Dionysus' train.
Well, I saw the thing going out of the sky, but one long horn, one big eye. Like a Mr. Shaking in the cemetery. It looks like a put people eating me. It was a one-eyed, one-horn giant took the people in.